Hi all, today I'm showing you my grandma's Southern Salisbury steak. It's economical and so delicious. It was in our rotation every 2 weeks growing up. Ingredients you'll need. Now these are all the ingredients just for the meat patties. I've listed everything here, hopefully to make your life easier. So you'll need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So we add just a pound of ground beef, whatever kind you want. You beat 1 large room temperature egg, and then we're going to pour it over the beef. Pour it in a dish. And then we're going to add a half a cup of panko breadcrumbs. Then we're adding a 1/4 cup of whole milk. And now we're adding a teaspoon of dried thyme and a teaspoon of onion powder and 2 minced cloves of garlic. And we're adding 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce and a teaspoon of Dijon mustard and a half a teaspoon of kosher salt and a half a teaspoon of black ground pepper. And now you mix thoroughly. I have to use my hands. I don't like touching raw meat, but I have to with this. So I kind of bear it. It's my little idiosyncrasy. I don't like touching meat. Anyways, so after that, I'm going to form it into patties that are oblong. And this feeds a family of 4 very nicely. If you have a bigger family or you have teenage boys, I would suggest another pound. And just double the recipe. And ingredients for the gravy, we're going to work on that next. And here's everything you need for the gravy. We are going to thinly slice 2 halved onions. I'm using a mandolin here. You can use a knife, whatever is easy for you. If you've got great chopping skills, go for it. I do not. But I also don't have a guard here, so I'm trying to be very careful so I don't slice off my fingers. So don't do as I do. Next, I'm making better than bouillon beef. I'm adding 2 cups of water and mixing 2 teaspoons of the bouillon. Now, if you want to use the carton pre-made, go ahead. And then I'm adding 1 tablespoon of ketchup in here. And then I'm going to add a teaspoon of onion powder. Now we're going to cook everything up. So over a medium flame in a skillet, I've added 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. Now I'm going to add the beef patties. And I'm going to brown them on each side. They're not going to cook all the way through. We're just browning them. They're going to cook in the oven. So flip them. And once they browned on the other side, remove them from the skillet and place them on a plate to the side. Now we're going to work on the onions. We're going to cook the onions in the beef fat and the vegetable oil. And here I'm just making sure I'm thoroughly mixing the onions in the beef fat. And I'm adding the mushrooms. I've already used a prepackaged kind. I'm just adding a pinch of salt on top of the mushrooms because I want them to release their water, and I'm mixing thoroughly, coating everything in the beef fat. And after that's done, they've released all their water. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of butter, and I'm going to mix well, melting the butter into the onions and mushrooms. Then I'm going to add a 1/4 cup of all-purpose flour. This is for thickening the gravy. I'm going to mix thoroughly, cooking the flour. It's going to take a few minutes. After a few minutes of cooking the flour, I add the beef stock mixture in, and I mix thoroughly. And then I add 1 cup of whole milk, and you're going to mix well again, and you'll see the sauce is thickening up. I'm just adding a half a teaspoon of kosher salt. That's all you really need. And then I'm adding the beef patties back into the skillet to finish cooking in the oven, because they're not done. They're still raw in the middle. I'm going to stir the sauce all around, making sure it's coating all the patties, and then place it in the preheated 350-degree oven for 30 minutes to finish cooking the beef patties. And I always serve it with mashed potatoes and green beans done the Southern style. And this is what it looks like. It's absolutely delicious, it's family friendly, and so inexpensive. To help our channel grow, we're asking everybody to please like, subscribe, and comment. If you're enjoying our content, and gosh, we really hope that you are, please consider becoming a subscriber. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help us out tremendously. We also ask if you can please watch the video from beginning to end. This also helps out. It's all because of the YouTube algorithm, how it works. We need people to like the video, subscribe, comment, watch the entire video. It really comes down to watch hours also. So we're trying to get that up. So it's all the YouTube algorithm. So otherwise we stay hidden. All these things are necessary for growth on YouTube, and we'd really love to grow. So thank you all for your help, and we'll see you next time. We post new videos 3 times a week on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and on Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're not already a subscriber, please consider becoming one. It doesn't cost you anything, but it does help us out tremendously. Also, don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss one of our videos. All right, we'll see you all real soon. We wanted to profoundly thank everyone for watching. Truly, we are so grateful for everybody watching. And we're also very grateful for all of our new and old subscribers for supporting us and helping us grow. You don't know what it means to us to have so many people watching and asking questions and just being involved in, our family recipes and things that we cook as well. We wanted to talk about something a little bit more serious. As you know, I've been harping on natural disasters that have hit the U.S. and what's going on. We've had horrific wildfires in Southern California, Hurricanes Helene and Milton, and of course, deadly floods that have happened all over the South and the Midwest. It's just mind-boggling, horrible what happened in Texas. We had a little girl come home. They found her and they brought her home to Virginia. And it's just, she was out there doing summer camp. It's so unfair. It's not right. Anywho, so all these communities have a long road to recovery, and we're encouraging everybody to help those in need by donating to the American Red Cross, the Salvation Army, World Central Kitchen, AmeriCares, Operation Blessing, and Save the Children. We're not affiliated with any of these organizations, but we know they're doing good work on the ground. And finally, I wanted to talk about something else, FEMA. The president, unfortunately, I think he's misguided here. He wants to end FEMA at the end of hurricane season. FEMA is really important. And we see now when FEMA is not firing on all cylinders, what happens. And what happens when we don't share information from the microwave satellites to, I think it's NOAA, the National something of Oceanic Atmosphere or something like that. They didn't get their information because we stopped sharing information for some reason. The Defense Department did on June 30th. So they didn't have the information up to date that they needed. Also, the DOGE cuts cut all these positions actually in that area and in Texas. These people who hand out information, make sure everybody knows when a storm's coming, that obviously really affected and lives were lost. Now, what do we do now? We make sure FEMA is strong. We make sure that we share the information from the satellite to let our weather forecasters know, and everybody know, the people who are doing disaster stuff on the ground, what's happening. It's so important. Please contact the president. Let him know you want FEMA to continue, that DOGE cuts need to be reinstated, and also that the defense satellite, we need that information. It's nothing to do with, state secrets. It's just weather. That's all it is. So, and also contact your senators and congressmen that you want this to continue. Unfortunately, it seems all these DOGE cuts are really hard-hitting rural areas, especially, I know that Tennessee is being hit very hard, as well as Louisiana, Arkansas, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, Georgia, Virginia, West Virginia, Missouri. I mean, it's not right, and we have to right the ship here, because if we don't, then all these communities won't be able to rebuild when something happens, and something's going to happen. That's we've seen it. So I'm going to get off that's the only political thing you'll ever hear me talk about is FEMA. That's it. So as always, I just ask everybody to please make sure you have a disaster preparedness plan and stay safe and be nice to your neighbors, be kind. And as always, Be blessed.